Hi, this is Swapnil Bhartiya, and we are here at KubeCon and Cloud Native Con in Shanghai, China. And today we have with us Cheryl Hung. You are new to CNCF, right? So let's talk about your own journey. When did you join CNCF?
So I joined officially about 6 weeks ago, but actually I've been involved with the CNCF for quite a bit longer than that. I myself first attended a KubeCon on a diversity scholarship a year and a half ago, and I run the Cloud Native London meetup, so I've been a CNCF ambassador for over a year as well. So I've always been impressed with the CNCF and what it does as an organization. So that's why I felt really inspired to join the CNCF, especially at such a crucial time as cloud native continues to grow in scale and adoption, and just be part of the journey.
So what is your role at CNCF? Can you talk about that?
My role is Director of Ecosystem. So primarily I'm focusing on our end users, which are companies who use cloud native but don't sell cloud native services externally. I've been an end user of sorts myself. I started my career as a software engineer at Google using Borg, which was the predecessor to Kubernetes. So 2010 onwards, I've been thinking in containers. So I've seen how it works. It really works at scale. So I want to talk to as many end users as possible and help them move to that cloud native, open, resilient, agile way of infrastructure.
And when we come to events like that, we do see a lot of users here. So, and Kubernetes or other cloud native technology, they have massive. So when you look at end user community, how do you want to help them? How do you plan to help them?
There's two ways, I think, to really help them. One is for them to engage locally. I think it's really important that companies and people inside companies find peers who they can engage with and talk to and build that local community. And secondly, it's very difficult to actually break into a community for the first time. Often I hear companies say, oh, we want to contribute to open source, but we don't really know how or where to start. Of course, you can submit a PR on GitHub, but that's the very last stage of things, right? What you really want to know is, who do I need to talk to? How does the process work? And what are how can I constructively influence this project and contribute to it? And I think the CNCF is quite a good hub for a focus around these infrastructure projects. And that means that companies can put their efforts behind a small set of really high quality projects and know that there's longevity and they can build their own companies around them.
And what role do events like KubeCon play, where you actually get a lot of people physically, where they can interact with each other?
So I think the main thing is end users who come to hear case studies and the stories of how other end users have adopted, what challenges that they face, what approaches did they take and then discard. And from my meetup organizer hat, it's very hard to get companies to present this kind of thing externally. So I think that once people come and listen to it, then they get more comfortable with sharing their own stories as well.
Yeah, because they see, the other company which has solved the same problem, in a different way. So yeah, it's a learning experience as well, and then they also get the confidence to share their experience with someone else.
Exactly, and that means that they feel more confident about expressing what they need to the projects, and then you get this really nice feedback loop of like healthy interaction between projects and end users.
And then they also feel that because similar pain points, so they feel that, oh, I am part of this community.
Exactly, you're not alone. We're all facing the same challenges and problems together, but we're better when we can solve it together.
So we are here in KubeCon, China, and this is the first event. And you are new to CNCF, but you have been involved for so long. So how has been your experience when you meet a lot of users here?
I find it utterly fascinating because, okay, my heritage is Chinese. My parents are from Hong Kong, but I grew up in the UK, so I'm quite westernized in many ways. And in the West, we don't really see the growth and the development of all of these companies and these ecosystems within China. So there's tons and tons of users in China that we just don't really interact with, and we're not even aware that they exist. So coming here and being able to talk to them in person and get their feedback and understand what challenges they face. As it turns out, the challenges are not that different from place to place, right? But people always, they want to feel like there's a community for them where they can be comfortable and they can express what they need. And for that, I think there's no substitute for being here and having people like conducting those conversations.
One last question before we wrap this up is that when you're not helping CNCF and end users, what do you do in your free time? What are your hobbies?
Hobbies. This is my 6th week and my 4th conference. So at the moment, I feel like I have not so much time for it. But I do a lot of speaking myself. I love public speaking and I do performing. And one of my little side things I do when I have a chance is I like being a background extra on movies.
Wow.
So I think I am in the new Bohemian Rhapsody Queen movie. Yeah. I mean, like Johnny English 3, and like it's quite fun to just see the.
So now I'll be spotting when I'm going to watch the movie.
I've thought about it as well. It's like try and watch. You
can
myself.
Find yourself, and then you can just make a square, and then you can post on Twitter so we know where you are.
Okay, keep an eye out on my Twitter feed if I find it.
Are you going to be in the next season of Game of Thrones? Or you only do only movies, no TV shows?
It entirely depends on their filming schedule. Funnily enough, Game of Thrones does not have so many Chinese people in it. But,
that's true. That's true.
But yeah, it's really a really fun thing to do that like taps my performing sort of heart a little bit.
Awesome, Cheryl. Thanks for talking to me today. And as usual, we'll see you at the next KubeCon. Thank you.
Great. Thank you.